morning and welcome to The Brief. It's a look at your trending stories for this morning. Presidential Commission to investigate into complaints regarding missing persons submits reports to the Presidential Secretary. Premier Wickremesinghe visits Port Chongqing during official visit to China. Professor Sarath Vijayasuriya issues a stern warning against the government. The Presidential Commission to investigate into complaints regarding missing persons has submitted its report to the Presidential Secretary. Speaking to Newsfirst, Chairman of the Commission Maxwell Paranagama stated that all documents containing the findings of the Commission are to be handed over to the Office of Missing Persons.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa appointed the Presidential Commission to investigate into complaints regarding missing persons on the 15th of August 2013, as per the recommendations of the Lessons Learned and Reconciliation Commission report. The Presidential Commission to investigate into complaints regarding missing persons, headed by retired High Court Judge Maxwell Paranagama, comprises of 5 committee members and a secretary. The Commission obtained evidence and complaints related to persons missing from 1983 to the 18th of May 2009. The Commission, which travelled to the northern and eastern provinces and 8 districts, recorded 19,000 statements from civilians as evidence.
4,800 complaints were complaints that were made twice. We have received 16,000 complaints. 6,400 of the 16,000 statements were reviewed. 475 of the complaints were forwarded to our investigation team. Investigations have completed into 200 of the 475 complaints and the details have been provided to us. So far we have received concrete information pertaining to a small number of missing persons. We had to carry out further investigations into the 10,000 complaints, but we were unable to do so since the mandate of our commission was not extended on the 15th of July this year. We hope that the Office of Missing Persons, which will be established in the future, will investigate into the remaining 10,000 complaints.
The chairman of the Presidential Commission to investigate into complaints regarding missing persons explained about the recommendations made by the Commission.
We have suggested a completely domestic system. When someone is being accused, and if the accused says that he is not guilty and wants to plead his innocence through a court case, then a high court should be established and local judges should be appointed for it. If an accused confesses to the wrongdoing and seeks forgiveness, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission should be established. This does not apply only to the Sri Lanka Army, but should also apply for members of the LTTE and other terrorist groups. We are committed to ensure that the law is practiced when dealing with wrongdoings at the time of the war. If we do not act according to the law, then the UN, based on its provisions, have the authority to investigate if international laws have been violated. In order to avoid such a situation, the Commission has recommended for a domestic system to be established to handle matters pertaining to the wrongdoers.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is on a 5-day official tour to China, engaged in an inspection tour of the port of Chongqing and its container terminal.
Located around 15 kilometers from the city centre, the port of Chongqing, which borders the Yangtze River, commenced operations in 2013. The container terminal at the port comprises of 16 jetties and has the capacity of handling over 5,000 tons of cargo at once. During the inspection tour, the Sri Lankan delegation had focused its attention on the possibility of setting up internal ports, such as the port of Chongqing, to further promote Sri Lanka as a shipping and logistics hub in South Asia.
Convener of the National Movement for a Just Society, Professor Sarath Vijayasuriya, says that ministers and state officials who are not suitable for the good governance government continue to serve in those positions. He made this observation while addressing an event in Yatyantoda to mark the 37th death anniversary of former Minister of Finance, late Dr. N.M. Pereira.
I receive around 10 to 15 calls a day telling me that a friend of Basil Rajapaksa has been appointed as a secretary to a certain ministry, or that a person who was a business associate of Namal Rajapaksa has been appointed as an additional secretary. Is this good governance? Now there is another group emerging from the other direction. They are asking us if we are not aware that the ministers in the new government are stealing. These are complex situations. These cannot exist within good governance. If I had the power, I would remove 6 persons from the cabinet. I have documents of 6 people. These were given to me by various people. If I had the power, I would immediately sack secretaries of 11 prominent ministries.
The memorial organized by the Lanka Samasamaja Party alternative group commenced after floral tributes were laid at the statue of the late N.M. Pereira at the Vincent ground in Yatiyanthota. An unidentified group had installed pipes close to the statue in an attempt to prevent people from laying floral tributes.
That's a wrap of the brief for today. For the News First team, I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka reminding you to stay briefed.